loving me, I loving you. Mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, sisters and brothers, friends for life, won't live in the past. All I wanna do now is making it last. How successful are you with navigating the different spaces and the different roles as a brother, as an uncle, as an aunt? Let's continue the conversation. You might just get some ideas of how to successfully navigate these spaces. So, auntie, how have you transitioned into being an auntie?
Well, I just can say that I am probably one of the I am the president of the Aunties Club.
and you say that because?
Because I have never felt so proud
Okay.
to our children that are not necessarily mine, but are also blood related. Because all of my friends as well who have kids, their kids call me auntie. And I have one in particular who, her daughter, one of my friends, when her daughter was in her tummy, I went to her, put my hand on her tummy, and this is my friend, you know. Put my hand on her tummy, and I just said to the baby, "Hi, how are you doing? This is Auntie Janine. When you come out, you and I shall have a lovely time." The baby moved instantly. Anytime from there, if she wanted someone to feel the baby move, she would say, "Janine, come here a second, let the baby move." The person would feel the baby. And once the baby was born as well, it was history too, because the baby and I actually hit it off quite well.
Okay, good.
So, for that being just from a friend perspective, her daughter calling me auntie, and now having my own actual blood niece and nephew, it is, I can tell you, that is definitely the reason why I say I'm the president of the Auntie Club. I have never felt so much more prouder in my life. I am proud of my niece. She is so smart. So for a 2-year-old, I think she's extremely intelligent. And I enjoy when I call her, hearing her say, "Auntie, how are you doing?" "Auntie, don't do that." "No, Auntie, no." and then she'll tell me, "Auntie, baby brother." Nice. And I say, "Have you kissed him from morning?"
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
So it's definitely a nice feeling. I am just basically enjoying it.
Okay, nice.
And I can tell you, if anyone is an aunt, I don't know if it's a bad experience for you, but I know for me it's quite a nice experience. And seeing the young one growing up and knowing that you have some amount of influence in their life and how it is that you can lead them and everything. Because even with my niece, there is one thing that I know that I will tell her every now and again. Sometimes she has a tendency to just say the word "no" alone. But I started correcting her. I don't know if her mother is too fond of it. But I said to her, "Don't just say no. You say no auntie, no uncle, no mommy, no daddy."
Okay.
And she, even grandma, well, my grandma would be her great grand. So she says, no, she starts off saying, "No, just say no to grandma." And I said to her, "No, you need to say no, grandma, or she refers to her as gangan."
Yeah.
So I said, "Say no, gangan." And every now and again she says it. So, knowing that you can actually influence
Yep.
and teach them something, yes.
So we're now we're gonna flip it slightly. So how then is your relationship with your aunts?
My aunt, well, yes, again, I would say that relationship-wise with them, just like with you, I think for most of my relatives, we don't usually talk and see each other very often. But once we're together and in a space, it is conversation flows. It goes.
Okay.
I know I had one aunt who it felt a little bit strained at first, but I guess after time, things got a whole lot better.
Okay.
And I mostly have aunts on my dad's side because my dad has 3 sisters. My mom doesn't have any other siblings. My mom doesn't have any other siblings. She actually has from her dad's side. But those siblings that she has, her half siblings, I'm not very close with them.
Okay.
So basically, consider mom as just a single child.
Okay. I know you've been enjoying the conversation, but we're going to take a little break and get a word from our sponsor.
Does your business lack branding? Having difficulty realizing your vision? Look no further. Splinth Brand Design Consultancy specializes in developing personal and business brands. Services include strategic management, website creation, social media branding, and more. Visit them online at www.wearesplint.com. Splinth, the brand you need to succeed.
We're going to end with you as daughter. How is that relationship now? I mean, how was it before leaving JA and how is it now?
Let's say that I am the one that basically created a lot of heartache from our parents. Because prior to leaving, I only gave my parents basically a 1 month notice before coming to Cayman. So it was a big shocker for them that I was leaving and leaving home.
And not just leaving home, leaving the country.
And not just leaving home, leaving the country, and not just leaving the country and going even somewhere where we have family. I'm coming in territory, complete unknown territory, because I didn't have any relatives, no blood relatives here. But my mom had friends here, so they kind of, looked out for me when I just came, and they still do even now. The relationship with mom, and I'm going to also include my grandma too, which is my mom's mom. It has its ups and downs, the regular challenges of a mother and daughter relationship. But it's still there, it's still going. My grandmother basically calls me, or grandma is the one that calls me mostly. I can tell you that, and I will confess that to everyone. Grandma is the one that calls me mostly. And when she calls, she has to call and check up on me to make sure that I have to call and find out what I'm going to be cooking for the week, to make sure that I have food.
Nice.
And if I don't have anything, or if I tell her that I don't feel to cook, she cuts me out. And she has even threatened to come over here to make sure that she can cook so that I can have food to eat. Yes, my grandmother is like that. So she loves me. I know she loves my brother and my sister just the same. So she will definitely go out of her way to do that. So, and growing up with my parents as well, my mom even said it to me or mentioned it to me recently, that out of all of the kids, I was basically like the soundboard for them. So whenever it is that we as the children would not do what it is that we need to do, if she tell us that we need to wash up the dishes and we didn't wash up the dishes when we were supposed to, and you hear the cussing coming out, I'm the one that end up getting the cussing per se. But she eventually said to me, "No, he's not cussing at all. It's just that you were always the one that was there to listen. And, you would hear what we say and then take it back into consideration. So I guess then it really does show that my relationship with my family, that I tend to be a good listener, since it is that, persons find it's easy for me to talk with. And I've had several friends who have said that to me as well, so that, they find that it's quite easy to talk with me.
Okay. As we're wrapping up, for somebody who would have been listening to this conversation, Janine, and they'll say, but you sound like, because of how you are, it's easy for you to play these different roles and still maintain a connection across, from cousin to auntie to niece to daughter. What would be your reaction to somebody who's saying, but I don't have the kind of personality that you have?
Trust me, it doesn't matter about personality. When it comes down to relationship, remember, you always have to try and work on the relationship that you want. You always have to put in effort. And even if it is that you're just going to send a text to your mom, your sister, your brother, whoever it is, just to say hi.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about it, just like how you would do with your friends. Because that is something that I also looked into for myself, that I realized sometimes that I would end up or tend to reach out more to my friends than my family.
Yes.
And I said, but if I can put in that amount of effort for my friends, then I need to do it for my family.
Yes.
So even the other day, I remember texting my dad, and I just said to him, "Hi, Dad, I just want to let you know that I love you."
Nice.
And that is something that I don't normally do, but it just, for me on that day, it just felt like I needed to tell him and express myself to him, because I realized that I don't tend to do that very often. So it really has a lot to do with the effort that you put in. It doesn't matter whether or not you're a shy person or you're what you'd want to say, a grumpy person. It doesn't matter. Once you want a relationship to work, regardless of wherever whatever that relationship is, just put in the effort and start off simple. So, hi, Noreen, just checking on you today. And even if it just means that next month down the road, you can say, hi, Noreen again. The sky is blue today, which means that I can go out then. Make it even better.
Yeah. Baby steps until you get to where you want. Thank you so much, Janine. Always a pleasure conversing with you. Just the first time it ever being recorded. So, yeah. This was Making It Last podcast, where it's all about helping us to have better relationships, not just with ourselves, with other people. Until next time.
Making it last is all I care to do. You loving me, I loving you. Mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, sisters and brothers, friends for life, won't live in the past. All I wanna do now is making it last.